Craft Club, Craft Club. We're all gonna craft because it's Craft Club. You will craft and I'll craft too. We're all gonna craft because it's what? Craft Club! Oh my gosh. Hello everyone. How are you doing? What an amazing opening number. Give it up for the band. Give it up for the band. My name is Kevin, if you don't know, and if you're here and you were like just brought here by the algorithm, you're probably pretty confused, and that makes sense. This is my weekly craft club. It's brand new. This is only episode 2, where we sit and we craft, and whatever craft you do is okay. I crochet very poorly. I'm also learning to knit, but I can't talk when I knit yet, so I'm just gonna be crocheting. Other people are, I saw some like embroidery. There's a lot of things going on. If you're a woodworker, if you're a decoupager, or if you just want to get a cup of tea and listen to me gab on about life, you can do that too. That's what I usually do. I usually have something in the background playing. It's just that I am not going to be doing any editing with this or like fancy stock footage or anything like that, because I just want this to be a chill place for us to sit and craft, hold each other accountable. If you feel like you need to be held accountable to craft every week and make something. We have a monthly theme, and our monthly theme for January is love, because February is Valentine's Day, and maybe we make something for someone we love. And so I'm making a scarf because that's really all I can do. And I have to be I have to do something in a line. You know what I mean when I'm talking? So I have this yarn from Joann's fabric, and it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's pink and it's lovely. What I think it looks like is a carpet. What I think it looks like is a carpet from a movie theater from the 90s. Or it looks like a bus seat, like a 90s bus seat. You know when it used to be fabric? Hopefully your bus seats aren't fabric anymore and they're plastic and easily washable, because that's crazy if it isn't, and kind of disgusting. What are you all doing? What are you doing? Tell me in the comments what you're making. We had some fun things in the comments last week. This is only episode 2. And I have to say that, okay, first of all, I was really excited because my expectations were extremely low. Because on social media, on Instagram or TikTok, there's an algorithm pushing, oh, I just made a knot. No knots. Not into knots. Because on my social media, like with my short videos, it always gets pushed, right? By the algorithm. And that's why I'm saying this is kind of an anti-algorithm thing, because I don't think long form videos really get pushed by a YouTube algorithm. Well, I've never had success with it, right? So when I started this, I was like, I'll tell everybody on my social media platforms where I have more people subscribed, right? And then maybe they'll come over and maybe I'll get 100 views. Like my goal was 100 views. And friends, I'm sitting at like 500 views. And some of you were probably like, this went viral, 1 million views. No, I'm sitting at 500 views, and I find that exciting because my goal was 100. And 500 is not viral by any means. And it's not enough to get monetized anyway. So that's why this video can only be 15 minutes, because I'm not monetized or not, whatever it is that I need to do to make longer videos. But I still think of it as a success, because if you think about, if you put 500 people into a theater, that's like half a Broadway theater. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I'm really happy with that. And then the comments were super fun. And a lot of people were telling me what they were making. Like I said, there was some embroidery. Who's making embroidery? Did it say? Vicky might embroider a heart ornament, which I love. I think, I love looking at it, and it's such a beautiful art form, but I personally can't do art forms that small because I don't have the patience, right? Like I needed the chunkiest yarn to make this scarf because I need to see it come together quicker. So I give it up for embroidery. I give it up for like, what's that art form where it's like, it's felting? Is it called felting? Where you like get a ball of felt and you poke at it and then it becomes a toy or a stuffed animal. Like, I'm like, I do not have the patience for that. So I give it up to you. But so many people told me what they were doing. There was also Pamela is making a crochet purse for her grandchildren, and I love that, and I hope that they love it, and I know they will, and maybe they will always cherish it, because things that we're given when we're young are things that we always cherish. Speaking of, this is Honey Bear right here, my childhood stuffed animal. He was given to me by my Aunt Marie, who's unfortunately passed away a long time ago. And what I think is interesting to myself is that I had been keeping him safe, like in like a little bag in this little cabinet that I have in my room, because I was like, he's really important to me. But then I was like, I'm not enjoying him. I don't get to see him. I don't get to see him every day. And what am I saving him for? Like, the world is crazy right now. The world is insane, like metaphorically and physically on fire. And so I just brought him out and I'm like, you know what, Honey Bear, let's just live our lives together. Here, you can tell I'm single, right? So I think that'll be really something that your grandchildren will love and will remember forever. And then Vicky's embroidering, which I can't wait to see that. There's a Taylor Swift amigurumi, am I saying that right? Being made, and I love that because they came to my hometown of Vancouver. Taylor Swift, the tour, came to Vancouver, my hometown, and closed out the tour here. And it was like so much joy, and I loved it. And then Hannah's making socks for her dad, and socks and underwear are my thing. Like, listen, like as an adult, those are things we need, and they're very expensive. I have a video that was like my highest viewed video on Instagram. It was like 250,000 views of me being like, I found underwear for sale. And I was like, people are obsessed with sales this year because so many of us are poor and we're all struggling. So you know what? Knit those socks. Dad will love them. And there's also flower petals being, I believe, crocheted or knitted for someone's daughter's wedding. I love that. Speaking of love, our theme. So comment what you guys, I'm trying to be more inclusive, what y'all are making in the comments, because I would love to know. And then I was saying, like, I would love to see it. Maybe, I think, though, just because I'm not editing any of this and it's like I'm just doing this once a week, maybe I'll just do like the final day of the month. You can tell I'm tired, y'all, can you? I did not sleep last night at all. I'm not sleeping. I haven't slept in so long, but I mean, I just feel the energy of the time that we're about to go into, that we're living through right now and we're about to go into. And I also I'm really, I'm not in Los Angeles right now, but so many of my friends are, and I'm just like really worried for everyone. And I really hate the online vitriol against California because it's really unfair. People live there, people's livelihoods are being lost in this massive fire. And friends are being surrounded by fire. My friends are literally like, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm not surrounded by fire. And this is just the world we're living in. We're living in climate change and it affects all of us. Like, it's not just Los Angeles, right? It's not just California or the blue liberal states. Florida also gets flooding constantly and storms. Everyone is affected by this, and everybody wants to play the political pointing game instead of just going let's get together and fix this. And that's why the world is burning. Okay, wow, tired rant. I just also knew that I had so much to do today, and I also had to, this upcoming week, and I'm sure I'll talk about it after it's done. I just don't want to talk about it before, but it's like I have a lot to do this upcoming week, but it's not fun. It's annoying, like adult stuff of being like, why am I as an adult having to fill out so much paperwork? Why is there so much paperwork? Who decided that we should all do paperwork all the time? So it's all just like boring adult stuff. It's weird too. I'm trying not to sniffle on video because it's a bad habit of mine and I am very allergic to a lot of things. And I do take medication and stuff like that. But there's all of these habits that you have when you live alone and you're single. And I'm really self-conscious of it now, like being in public and doing things like that. Because I had this ex-boyfriend who was like, you know, we were friends a little bit after we broke up. And it was one of those relationships that was like, I met his parents like the week before he broke up with me. And I was like really surprised. And then we were kind of friends for a little bit. And then I remember we had already broken up and he said to me, we were eating dinner and he was like, you know, when you eat that you smack really loud, like you eat really loud, you slurp and you smack. And you should really work on that if you want to ever date someone else again. Right? And so I didn't work on it. And I've never dated anyone since. That was my last relationship. So there's all these things that I know that I do by myself, like all of these habits that I have. And I'm really self-conscious of it with a 15-minute video because really on my short social media videos, you can really edit it out. And that's what you're supposed to do. And that's also why I didn't want to do that with this and like make it fancy editing because I'm like, you know, people pause. People say, people think. And social media has made us like I guess think that people don't do that. Because I do get comments sometimes when I say like, they're like, ooh, you said like a lot. It's like, yeah, people say like to come up with the thought that they're trying to think of. You're like, what is this video about? We're just crafting and gabbing. And hopefully you have, you know, a cup of tea if you're just watching me unravel. Yarn joke. But all that to say, I think at the end of every month, maybe I'll figure out an email finally and everyone can send me their like finished progress pics. And the final episode of the month will be us looking at everyone's work and then announcing what the next month's. See, I'm so tired. I'm fine, y'all. I'm fine. I'm going to take a nap after this, but also like looking at deciding what the next theme of the month will be. So like the next one is February. No, the next one is March. So what is March? What should our theme for March be, do you think? I think it's like a little spring-like. Is St. Patrick's Day in March? Maybe it has to be something green. Do we like green? I'm more as I work on green right now. What do you think of this? It's okay. It's okay. You know, I tried with something new. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish this, obviously. I don't not finish a scarf. This is what I do. Anyways, all that to say, like, we just gotta keep crafting and living through this time that we're living through. And I hope that we can all just have this moment to work with each other and come together and just distract ourselves for a little bit, like not pretend that nothing is bad in the world, but just to say like, we are a community, we're not alone. No one's alone because we're all alone together. So I hope that you keep tuning in. Yeah, let me know what you think the theme for February for March should be. Unnecessarily complicated. And let me know what you all are making. And I hope that you enjoy. I threw the sign again too far. I threw it too far. But I hope that you enjoyed the second episode of Craft Club. Craft Club. We're all gonna craft at Kevin's Craft Club. We'll all craft. I forgot it already. And you will craft. Yes, we'll all craft because it's Craft Club. Craft Club. Yeah. See you next week.